Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction for and bingo for One Piece Chapter 1097. Sorry for those of you who are patrons and channel members, this is a bit late. I'm running a bit behind. Either way, this one's titled Ginny, which is exciting. I always bring up if I think I've been maybe spoiled on anything. I haven't really been spoiled on anything this chapter, I think, but way back like Wednesday, I'm like, I didn't even know the scans were out at this point. In my recommendeds on YouTube, I saw a thumbnail with Dragon in it. I obviously didn't watch the video, but I'm assuming that means Dragon has something to do with this chapter, and now that I'm clicking on to TCB and see that the chapter name is Ginny, it makes me think, okay, we're sticking with the flashback. If we're sticking with the flashback, are we going to see whatever tragic fate befalls her because she doesn't seem to be in the present story? Are we going to see if she's Bonnie's mother, how all of that relationship with Kuma came to be? Or if Dragon is getting involved, am I just wrong? Because like I said, there were a bunch of people saying, oh, what if she's Luffy's mom? And I like the big brain genius that I am, was like, no, she's probably Bonnie's mom, not Luffy's, just all of the things, her being called a glutton and everything, and also Ginny, Bonnie, similar names. But what if instead I am the dumbass? What if instead I'm very, very stupid, which is something that happens very often, and she is just Luffy's mom, and I'm just not very smart? That's a real possibility here. So either way, I switched out some stuff like I do every time for the bingo card. So I guess before we go, let's go over that. Really, I put some Revolutionary stuff on the bingo card, and now we gotta say, if we're sticking with this flashback, Egghead has really been a big boon for the Revolutionaries, because I never really liked them all that much, but they have never felt more relevant or good in the story than they do now. From the Reverie flashback stuff that we got delivered through Sabo to now Kuma's backstory and getting Ivankov's backstory out of that, or at least a bit of it. And then if Dragon's coming in now, that's incredibly cool. I'm excited to see Dragon here too, because we really haven't seen that much of Dragon this young. Like, chronologically, the earliest we've got going on is the stuff that happened right after the Ohara incident, which is like 22 years ago, compared to this is like 38 or something like that, and we might skip ahead a bit before Kuma meets Dragon, but this might be the earliest we get to see Dragon, if we get to see him here. But either way, let me go through the bingo card real quick. We got new name Devil Fruit, we got named character Death, we got York, we got Vegapunk. I should have specified Stella, the like OG Vegapunk. We got Bounty Reveal. Again, I had to throw in a couple of like things that would still be, if we jumped out of the flashback and back to present Egghead, things that would still be kind of relevant. We got God Valley, in case we see any of that again. I don't think we will, but just in case. Carrot and or Zunisha, that I'm just gonna keep up there forever, I guess. Zoan Transformation, a new cover story. Kuma's Bible, because I thought, okay, if we continue with the flashback, maybe we'll get to see how he comes to carry that around. Kuma, which is kind of an easy one. Vivi Polar Morgans, a free space that we can go ahead and click. Any Straw Hat member, any of the Gorosei, Egghead Butt fan service. Bonnie's actually a child, if that gets confirmed somehow. Devil Fruit Awakening, Smoker, a flashback, which again might be an easy one here. Any island other than Egghead, and it would again maybe easy. Named Revolutionary, which it kind of has some overlap there with Kuma. Ginny is someone's mom. If we get confirmation either way. Where is Caribou? Where is he gone? Or a named attack. So that's what I ended up with, but you can generate your own bingo cards, like I said, all the time. I'll leave a link in the comments and in the description, and you can generate your own to play along if you want to. So yeah, with all that out of the way, let's actually start reading chapter 1097, Ginny or Ginny. I still haven't looked up what the actual, like, I've never looked at the Japanese raws or anything to see how it's spelled in katakana. Oh, either way, cover request by Takashi, Kuma catching salmon in a river, and they actually did young Kuma and it looks like the same two guys that were kids or whatever, but we actually got young Kuma and presumably Ginny. That's nuts. That's so cool. And it's like Kuma can just, like, you know, bear catching salmon in a river or whatever, but I love the one shocked face, because he probably can just, like, vanish the one from the river just straight onto the grill. Um, though I guess that you would want to clean it first. That would really, really not be the best way to go about this situation. But you get my point. You get the joke. All right, though. Um, Getting into the actual thing. 8 years after the God Valley incident, which would be 30 years ago, so Kuma'd be in his early teens by then, maybe? Or actually, no, I think he's a bit older, because he was 4 when he first became a slave, and I think where we were 38 years ago, he was probably already like 9. Um, so 8 more years, he's probably, what, 17 by now? Um, Please help me, Kumachi. I've been coming here since your pa was around. It came as a nasty shock when you all went and disappeared on us. Kingdom of Sorbet, South Blue. I think somebody said that in the official translation, they said something like Kuma's parents ran a church, so that was like their church or something. But that wasn't in the scans last week, so I don't know if that's 100% confirmed or not. But it's comforting to know you grew into such a sweet boy. Your parents did a great job. I'm sure they're so proud of you becoming a bona fide clergyman. Okay, so he becomes an actual priest. We have Pastor Bartholomew Kuma, 17 years old. There are hardly any young'uns left in this country these days. It's no wonder we're getting poorer and poorer. Wow, what a relief. I feel so much better. Bless you. Me next. My hips are killing me. And he's just taking all the pain and stuff out of all the villagers. We can't thank you enough. God bless your miracle hands. Can't you do this on weekdays too? Fat chance. Sundays only. I kind of love this for Kuma in his life, but it just seems like all of this happiness is going to be interrupted. And also everybody keeps saying he has the hands of liberation, miracle hands, so that's probably going to tie even more into whatever sadness we have coming. But getting to the end of the page, we do have, let's see, we probably have a couple things here. Actually, hold up, do we have Kuma's Bible? Is he holding it here? We don't see yet. Okay, we don't see the Kuma Bible yet. But we do have Kuma. Less than I thought. We got a flashback. We got a named revolutionary because Kuma is one. Anything else? Any island other than Egghead we got? So yeah, maybe I thought we were just gonna get a whole bunch page 1, but maybe I'm wrong. So, where do you freeloading old bags get off asking for even more help? We've gotten the attention of little Miss Cheapskate. Quit flapping your gums. This isn't a nursing home. I'd tell you to wash your mouth out if you weren't such a cutie pie. I heard there's no end to the number of suitors that come knocking on her door. And we see, oh my god, 21-year-old Ginny. Don't change the subject. None of them have a chance with Kumachi here. Just looking into that calm face of his is enough to comfort anyone. You're too kind. You're the one who's too kind, she says, clapping back at Kuma. I love Kuma. I already loved him, but this flashback could just turn him into, like, an absolute favorite of mine. To tell the truth, we'd love to donate and support our Kumachi, but we've all been struggling just to meet the celestial tribute recently. I'm sure you've heard about our new king, right? They say King Bekuri is a cold-hearted monster. He's hell-bent on paying the... I don't know if we've seen him before at the Reverie or not. He's hell-bent... I guess not, because the Sorbet Kingdom was the one that Bonnie was pretending to be the ruler of. He's hell-bent on paying the tribute, and he doesn't care about whether us old farts are too sick to contribute. If we can't, they'll lock us up. He's the worst. The other day, an acquaintance of mine ended up starving to death in their cell. Can you believe that? That miserly king of ours won't even feed his prisoners. He's even more of a cheapskate than you, Jenny. And yet, he's happy to bend over backward for the celestial dragons. And is he... I guess that's just meant to be him talking to the celestial dragons. If we don't stay in good health, we're going to get killed. I was just scared he was listening in on them, but it looks like it's just him talking to someone. I can get rid of any pain or mild illnesses you need me to, so please visit every week, says Kuma. Thanks so much, Kumachi. Man, I freaking love him. And we see this huge ball, I guess, of pain left over. He breathes in. Oh, I guess the pain has to go somewhere, so he takes it in himself. Man. And we just have the shuddering Ginny as he's taking it all in. So yeah, I guess maybe the pain, when he takes it out of somebody, it has to go somewhere. So he takes it on himself. They have no idea you're taking on any of their pain, Kumachi, and you keep doing this week after week. It can't be helped. If someone doesn't shoulder their burdens, that pain and suffering of theirs won't just disappear. It'll be left to fester, returning to haunt them again. Okay, so if somebody doesn't take on the pain, it goes back. So like if Zoro didn't take on Luffy's pain back in Thriller Bark, it would have just went back to Luffy. More than anything, I'm just glad I can do something to make them feel happier. I'm sorry for putting you through this, though. It'll get tougher, I'll get tougher, so you won't have to worry. That's not the point. Hey, we got a little food as thanks today. Let's eat up. Woohoo, dinner time! And then we have them eating peacefully. 25 years ago, when Kuma was 22. Hey, Kumachi, let's get married. Huh? We can't. What the hell's with that reaction? Of course we can. You love me, right? Just admit it, you dope. Wouldn't it make you happy? I'm sure it would, but the thing is, and he thinks about his own father, just take me. I'm the one with Buccaneer blood. My wife is normal. Please let her and my son go. I don't want to make you unhappy, he thinks. That's very interesting, too, that he's thinking about, like, just like his father, she would then be susceptible like his mother was, and any kid they had would have to go through the same things he went through. Look at this. It's another article about those freedom fighters. They finally issued wanted posters for them after they incited riots in several countries. Dragon. He's so cool. He's like a hero. And we have Dragon pre-getting the mark on his face. And also he had the freedom fighters going even at this point. So what was that, 25 years ago? So this was a good 3 years before the Ohara stuff. One day, I want to head out to sea and dedicate my life to saving people too. Hello, is anyone home? Jenny, our sweet muse, we had a massive haul today. Please help yourself. Thanks so much, Mr. Fishmonger. And then Jenny just tosses the basket at him. Ouch, idiot. Then, 22 years ago, something major happened. Okay, is this the time that Ohara was, that incident happened? I mean, this might not be related to that, but this is happening at the same time. The people you've kidnapped, let them go. Save us, Kumachi. What are you yelling about, you big oaf? Are you trying to pick a fight with the royal army? That's treason, Castle town of the kingdom of Sorbet when Kuma was 25. He's apparently a pastor from some church in the southern province. Hey, pastor, didn't you hear about the new law? We're allowed to do whatever we want to you southerners. You planning on enslaving them? I won't let this pass. Wah, he's a rebel. And he uses his devil fruit. My liege, this new policy. The people might find it hard to swallow. It is of no consequence. They'll soon grow accustomed to their new status. Before long it won't bother them. They'll all come to see the southerners for the vermin they are. And it's interesting because Bonnie's not here yet. And this was only 22 years ago. But we'll see where it goes. From this day forward, because I don't think we have anything new on the bingo board, but I'll look in a little bit. I can't think of anything new that we would have had. From this day forward, the borders of Sorbet shall stop at the edge of the northern province. The amount of celestial tribute is decided by a country's population, you see. Will no longer be weighed down by all the old fossils in the south. We must cut out this cancer so the fittest of this glorious nation can thrive. Okay, so celestial tribute is by population. I like, again, showing that what Arlong was doing way back in East Blue is like what the evil humans were doing. It's like what the celestial dragons were doing by demanding based on the people. Alright, and we see the old folks village in Kuma's church. And we see in jail we've got Kuma, Jenny, and the others. Tell me, what made them arrest you too? We raised hell trying to get them to free you, Kumachi, but they gave us a thrashing in the end, and they all laugh about it. Jenny, this country's on the brink of becoming a cesspool of bigotry and hate. King Bekuri is a celestial dragon puppet. This new policy was given to him from on high. If you plan on starting a rebellion, I'm trying not to look at the left side, you'll be signing up to fight the world government as well. What? Who are these guys? Oh, I'm trying so hard not to look. Yeah, your majesty, we must flee. as if we would let you. Okay, so Ivankov's coming back. As if we would let you escape. This is what you get, you wannabe celestial dragon. You make me sick. We have young dragon. The king's been overthrown. His slavery laws are no more. Thank goodness. I hated what this country was becoming. And so, this mysterious band saved the kingdom of Sorbet from the corruption of the world government, the onset of the Great Pirate Era, and the tragedy of O'Hara. Oh yeah! Wow, I just thought about that. Gold Roger's execution was around that time too. Spurred these freedom fighters to take up arms. Yeehaw! Count me in too. Okay, so Ginny joined them against the corrupt regimes of the world, starting numerous insurrections. It didn't take long for the two pillars of this movement to become three, as Dragon and Ivankov recruited Kuma to their cause. This organization would adopt a new name, one that echoed around the world, the Revolutionary Army. That's so cool. That's so cool. Young Kuma and Ivankov and Dragon. And I'm trying to look at some of the background ones and see if they're ones that we know from the commanders. Like, I can't tell if the guy to Dragon's right, I can't tell if that's supposed to be a young Karasu or not. I guess none of them really look like... Yeah, well, I guess Morley's huge. None of them really look like Morley. And then the one female member with the hat, maybe Bello Betty, but I don't think so. None of them look like the current commanders. We're still lacking funds, says Dragon. It's so weird seeing him without the thing on his face, and having like such sharp features like his jawline and his nose compared to Luffy. For now, we must act like mercenaries, supporting those who already have a will to topple their monarchs, fueling their rebellious spirits. All our recruits get weapons training drilled into them. I want us to grow into a boundless army spread throughout the world. Alright. Honestly, the hair on this one to the right of this panel looks more like Bello Betty. Where'd you learn about weapons, Dragon-san? Okay, their ship is interesting. So is it, like, the whole thing about, like, the man with the burn scar potentially being Dragon and sailing around on a black ship? You know, I don't know. I spent some time with the Navy. Unfortunately, I found no justice there. Marine or revolutionary, he's a man determined to help others, says Ivankov. You can rely on me, Dragon. I love young Kuma. You won't regret joining us. Well, I'll be. Look who's back. I'll be coming home every now and then. I worry about you all. You're so sweet, Kumachi. And thus, another 8 years would pass, and the sun would continue to rise and set like normal until... Bonnie's still not around, guys. Bonnie's still not here. 14 years ago, a certain kingdom. You look excited, Ginny-san. Alright, again, I'm still looking at these background revolutionaries. None of them still look familiar. Isn't that obvious? Can you blame me, though? We're so close to the day where we get to link up with Kumachi's squadron. I'm so happy I can hardly breathe. Captain of the Revolutionary Army's Eastern Forces Oh, Ginny, no! No! And I keep going back and forth between whether I say Ginny or Guinea. And the reason I'm saying no is because this would be the time where if I actually knew which commanders belonged to which forces, I'd be like, oh, so insert name here was the one who replaced her. I think Karasu is south, but I do not remember who's west, north, or east. And I might even be wrong about south. I think, if I'm digging deep in the memory banks, south sounds right for Karasu. West sounds right for Morley. Maybe Bello Betty is north, and east doesn't sound right for any of them, to be honest with you. Maybe east is, what was his face though? The mink. I don't remember. Lindbergh. Maybe? I don't know. But they're about to meet up with Kumachi's squadron. Again, Bonnie doesn't seem to be here. This was 14 years ago. Captain Kuma, that lucky dog. He's won the heart of the lady we all admire. Huh? You creeps admire me? Gross. Your words sting. Revolutionary headquarters, Baltigo. Dragon-san. Ginny's been captured. Disturbing news. The enemy took us by surprise. Please forgive us. There is a very good chance, though, that Bonnie is just Kuma's adopted daughter, and also that Ginny is dying in this flashback. And that's it. This, to me, wasn't the craziest chapter. I really don't even think we had anything else on the bingo board. I really enjoyed it as, like, getting more context to these characters, getting more story with these characters. But it's not like it really blew me away or anything. I don't think we got to see Kuma's Bible or any transformations. So yeah, I think we saw very, very little, actually. No new devil fruits. So actually, yeah, we saw barely anything, truth be told. Bonnie is actually a child, is kind of looking true, but we don't know how old she was whenever Kuma found her, if she is, you know, not his biological daughter, which I think is looking very likely right now. I think, to be honest with you, it is more likely that Bonnie is an adopted daughter, not a biological daughter to Kuma, than it is that they free Ginny, she doesn't die here, she has Bonnie, and then she dies. I feel like there's just so much going on there that I think it's more likely that Ginny is just going to die, and Kuma is going to then adopt Bonnie probably afterwards, is what I'm thinking. I think that's more likely, but it could go either way. So still no hard confirmation, but it's looking more and more like Bonnie is a child theory, even though logically it doesn't make a lot of sense, especially given things that Oda said in the past. But we're talking One Piece Wano onward. Anything can happen. Oda could just say, screw it, I forgot about this thing that I wrote, or I don't care about this thing that I wrote anymore. That's totally possible at this point. One Piece Wano onward does not exactly have the untouchably high standard I would have put on One Piece before then. But yeah, either way, I thought it was a fun chapter. I enjoyed this. Either way, though, I hope you did too. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this chapter, my first thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more One Piece, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want to talk on Discord, ask and I can give you a link there. Again, we can talk anywhere about One Piece and much more. Thank you for all the support on the One Piece stuff recently too. Like, your comments have been amazing. Sorry, I've mentioned before, sometimes I like read comments and I'm like, oh wow, that was really good, but I can't think of a good thing to say in response. So sorry if you've wanted answers, then I haven't given them to some of your comments, but you've been really great recently. Everybody has with the One Piece stuff. It's been awesome lately. I've really enjoyed covering it again. It makes me feel kind of bad though that I am so on schedule with keeping up with One Piece, but there are these other series that, I'll be honest with you, I'm enjoying a little bit more. As much as I love One Piece, I can't say I'm not enjoying Chainsaw Man more. Chainsaw Man's awesome. At least right now, I can't say I'm having a lot of fun with that. So it kind of feels bad being super consistent with this and then letting some other things kind of slip. But I have really loved how much you all have been great about One Piece coming back to the channel. But either way, if you want to help support the channel, if you want to help me to continue to make videos, then you can become a patron by going to patreon.com/HakuOfTheTubes, or a link will be in the description, or you can hit join down below, become a channel member. Thank you so much to people who are already patrons and members. Thank you to Chosen Regular Evan Holly. Thank you to Magical Girls, FR Nono and Smeller Dog. Thank you to Cherryton Student David Langstaff. Thank you to Slayer Candidate SG. And thank you to Pure Element Pade Arde Alal. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.